All right, so let's look at cherry picking daddy. Oh, this will be fun. Why don't you give us some insight on what you're thinking here, Cherry?
Yeah, I don't really have a clue in all honesty. Obviously, I'm going to keep Bobrovsky. That's probably it for goalies.
Yeah, you don't like Craig?
Marchand for sure. Jeannot.
He's had a killer year, right?
Oh yeah. And then I'm kind of undecided on the rest.
I guess it depends where they sign and what their situation is, right?
Yeah, that's it. So I'll probably end up keeping Buchnevich, or however you pronounce his name, from St. Louis. Bushnevich. Okay, yeah. And then maybe Giroux.
Depends where he signs.
Yeah, exactly.
If he resigns in Florida, that's a given. Like, you gotta.
Yeah,
that fucker's been on a tear in the last 10 games. He's got 14 points in the last 10 games.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'd be a no-brainer there. So yeah, it depends. If he resigns in Florida, I'm probably going to keep him.
I don't blame you there. I don't have anything against what you just said. Maybe I might throw Terry in. Young player like that with over 30 goals this season. He's just getting started, right? So
yeah, and that's the one I'm really not sure about. You know, like if I don't keep Giroux, then I'm going to keep Terry. They're both kind of like on the bubble there.
That's fair.
I think I give Terry the edge over Giroux just because of Giroux's age. You don't know how he's going to play, and you don't know where he's going to go. Like, they're talking about him maybe re-signing with Philly again, and I'm like, I wouldn't touch that Philadelphia Flyers team with a 10-foot pole. If it was a woman, I wouldn't fuck it with Corey's dick. Like, that's So like, for me, Troy Terry, like, him and what's his name there,
Zagris,
they're going to be a problem for a long time. They might be the new Perry Getzlav.
Yeah, I might sell early too, depending for next year. I don't know. I might go into a rebuild mode next year, so I might take somebody like Terry and maybe try to, get a number 1 draft pick with him. We'll see. I was thinking about selling early this year because I looked at my schedule and I was just like, man, my schedule sucks this year. There's no way I'm gonna make the playoffs, like playing some of these teams twice. And I show him my gut feeling, but I just hate like not trying, So
I hear you.
Yeah, it kind of bothered me, but so I kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit, but I'll probably end up, I think, selling early next year. We'll see, though. We'll see.
Well, that's good. I think your team's all right. Like, you have some decent keepers, some decent options. Maybe not as strong as a lot of other teams, but options that are all keeper worthy, right? So
yeah, and I'm curious, like especially with Jeannot, if he's just gonna kind of build on this year, or if this is just like a one-off. But I'm hoping he builds on it.
Yeah, hopefully for your sake.
Yeah.
We got next here, Daltrey. I'll tell you who we should keep. It's definitely Saros. Keep him on the bench. Who wants to analyze Daltrey's team here?
I can go with it.
Yeah.
So he's obviously going to keep Stützle, McKinnon. I'm assuming Wilson. That's where there's a few different options. Like Duchesne had a killer year. Is that a one-off?
Tough to say with Duchesne.
He's at 82 points this year, 32 goals. Like, that's pretty good too. And then Saros and Grubauer. He's obviously going to stick with those two.
Should. He said goalie issues forever. Finally gets goalies and leaves them on the bench.
So then if he goes with the goalies and Stützle and McKinnon, then he's left to pick between like Wilson and Fiala.
To me, he shouldn't even keep Stutzel.
No, it's the bad pick.
If I told him that when he traded Patrick Kane so we can keep him, I'm like, you're being dumb. Like, you're giving up Patrick Kane. It's like perennial like 90-point scorer here, and you're gonna move him for a guy who's playing his first full NHL season, and not that he's not going to be a talented player. He will, but you're giving up on something for sure for something that might pan out in a couple of years. You know, I didn't like that trade. I tell him all the time, but I think Wilson has to be a lock. He just provides too much in fantasy across the board.
Yeah, I mean Saros and Grubauer are locks because like they're both legitimate starters, and I like the Kraken are gonna get better. They really can't get worse, but they're gonna get better.
They get a little worse, on the Coyotes level.
To me, like you don't even like. I like Tim Stützle. I think he's a good player. He's a bit of a flopper, but he's still a good player. But I think you pick Duchesne. Like Duchesne's not like there can't be a question about keeping Duchesne.
You think
After
so?
after the season he's had, it's a no question for Duchesne.
He's been off for so long though. It's not like it's been a 1 or 2 seasons. He's been slow.
But you look at if you look at the Predators as a whole though, like the players now they have him playing with, like you had him for the longest time playing with Johansson, who when Johansson was like Duchesne's a finisher. Duchesne's not a playmaker. He's a finisher. Now they don't have him with Johansson. They have him with a legitimate center who's actually setting him up. Or sorry, they have him with playmakers who are actually setting him up.
Yeah.
I think I would consider maybe keeping Duchesne if Forsberg resigns there. If Forsberg leaves,
Big one.
then what do you have? Are you going to get 40 goals out of him again? No, doubt it. But I like McKinnon, Wilson, the 2 goalies, the 5th, honestly, on his roster. I don't even think it matters. Like maybe Fiala, but if Fiala's going to walk, will he be the same guy on another team? It's hard to say, right?
It really depends on who that team. It
sometimes-
depends on who that team is, because like, if he goes to just where he's going to get the biggest paycheck, he might end up on a team again like Philly, where he's just going to get his paycheck be shit.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. I think we're in agreement though. Stützle shouldn't be one of his keepers.
Yeah. Throw out the strudel.
Strudel's gone. Let's go into Captain Crunch here. This is an interesting guy. Dominates all year. It's coming to the trade deadline. He starts moving players that he could probably use for a playoff run, and then gets eliminated first round. Who do you guys see him keeping?
Look, Kachuk and Crosby for sure, right?
The Chuck for sure, 100%.
Trocheck.
I think he's worth keeping.
I think so too.
He says
That's
Uyghur. He refuses to get rid of Uyghur at all. So I imagine he keeps Uyghur.
He had a solid season, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
yeah. You keep Uyghur. Yeah, looking at Uyghur's numbers, you keep Uyghur. 170 hits, 152 blocks, 35 assists, 8 goals.
His goalies though, he has like no goalies that are worth keeping.
They'll probably keep
I keep Forsberg maybe.
Yeah, you can't go in like next season with no goalies going to the draft. You have to keep one.
You would think that,
Yeah.
but this guy goes into every week with no goalies.
It's true.
And then
Yeah.
maybe I hang on to either Frank. I don't even think you Frank. Hold on, Frank.
No.
Maybe Gustafson. Maybe Kuznetsov. But I don't even know what
Oh.
Kuznetsov's ear looks like.
You got
Yeah,
Crosby, Tkachuk, Uyghur, Trocheck, maybe a goalie, maybe Kuznetsov. Like,
It'll be interesting to see.
The guy who I turned down for Clefbaum.
Who was it?
Kuznetsov.
he has a
Oh.
decent core still, right? So, but honestly, I think he has one of the weaker keeper pools, especially out of the playoff teams. I just don't see a whole lot of value out of his guys. I know Brady Tkachuk puts up a lot of things, but his goalie situation is fucking ridiculous.
He has a lot of good draft picks though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good picks.
Yeah, he'll have a solid team next year. But
But what's he do with his goalies? Like,
well,
I don't-
there will be goalies thrown back in the pool. So, Swayman's going to be up for grabs by
but he'll
somebody.
go. I suspect he'll go early.
Oh, I don't see him going past the first round.
No, that's the thing. A lot of the goalies are going in the first round, right? So I
Yeah.
think that's where it's gonna get tricky. Get off my grass.
I could probably speak to this the most.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I know Nikov, whatever, however you pronounce his name.
Sveshnikov?
Kaprizov,
Yeah.
Knight and Samsonov for sure.
And
the other
Makar probably.
Makar, yeah, for sure. There's the 5. That's most likely 5. He's
I
going
can't
there.
argue that. Like,
And I think it's pretty good, really good keepers. Yeah, the goalies could be improved, but player-wise, young and high potential.
And his draft selection is stellar.
yeah. He went in rebuilding, right? So he wanted to put his
Yeah.
own stamp on his team. So I think he did a good job with that.
Oh, for sure. He's
Got
going
a
to be a force to be
good,
reckoned with next year.
He's got a good core. I think he has a better core than Domo. So
For sure. Yeah.
he at least has 2 goalies worth keeping. Well, I guess Samsonov was borderline for me, but this is an interesting one about Hockey Balboa. I was looking at his team today with Travis, and we kind of think that there might be like 6 players that he probably should keep, which is odd because he picked one up from me at the deadline, but then didn't move another forward out. So that made a log jam, and maybe he just gave me a pick for nothing. I don't know. But what I was looking at was Zegras, Dubois, Gensel, and Line are all worth keeping. But then you have to keep Ottinger and Campbell.
Well, the problem is that a lot of the guys that you're mentioning are free agents. Like Dubois is a free agent, and you don't know what Winnipeg's gonna do. Campbell still doesn't have a contract with Toronto, so he's a free agent as well. So that's kind of, and isn't Line a free agent as well?
Restricted, right? So him and Dubois are restricted.
And is he really worth keeping though? 26 goals, 30 assists.
He's
I'd
a
say
point a
drop
game,
one.
pretty much. He only played 50 some games.
I like Dubois' potential. Gwensel is a lock for sure. Zegras is a little bit more of a grinder out of that Anaheim duo compared to Terry, which adds some more value there.
My thing with Zegras is he's gonna keep getting better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
See, for me, I think instead, I don't know if I would keep Dubois. I think I might pick Suzuki because
Really?
Montreal is going to be a better team. Montreal, if you look at them, they'll be a better team. If Price ends up playing next year, they've got a lot of guys who just didn't play this year. They're going to play. I think they're going to be a better team.
Are you a Hams fan? No, you're not.
No, hell no. I'm a Leafs fan. Personally, I'd like the Montreal Canadiens plane to crash sometime, but like realistic, not actually. I mean, like their team stock to crash, like they're. I'm not a murderer. But at the same time, I have to look at it as an honest hockey fan, and they've got a lot of good pieces there. You look at Cole Caulfield, and like I'm gonna bitch about his name for years. And you look at Suzuki, he's the kind of center that can make that guy a fucking nightmare.
The thing I think I like about Dubois though is he puts up a lot of hits.
Yeah, 108 hits on the year, 106 PEMs on the year.
Like he
Like
puts
the
up
power
all
play.
that grind and he can score. Like it's tough to turn that down, right?
I'd take that over Lining. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I mean. Like if you're
Line A
gonna
is
pick
the one
one
I
or
would
the
cut.
other, like yeah.
He just
I think
Line A
I'd keep
gets hurt a
him.
Lot. Like
Yeah.
I love Line A. I think he's a great
spot.
player, but any final thoughts on Balboa?
What about that young kid, Corey Perry? No, kidding.
He's got a lot of years left in him.
A lot of gas left in the tank.
let's talk about never forget to start goalies.
Or
Is this
defense.
Travis's new name?
Yeah,
Okay.
changes it every week, right? So
Yeah.
I've talked to him a little bit about it, and he's on the fence about a couple players. But JT Miller, I think, is a lock.
Yep.
I think he walks in with Binnington and Price
Well, Demko.
Not Demko?
and Demko. I think he keeps 3, honestly.
Yeah, I think that was his plan.
Yeah. Because I think Bennington gets moved, frankly.
Yeah, probably. I
He
can see him
started
ending up in Buffalo.
And he started playing
Ooh.
well recently too.
Yeah, he's been playing well.
Like really well, yeah.
But if you look at the rest of his roster, he's got shit. So Norris,
Well,
Norris and Thompson are, I think, the ones that he's kind of in between right now, because both are over 30 goal scorers.
What about Marcus Foligno?
I think he's soured on Foligno a bit.
yeah, he slowed down a little bit with the offense. He was outperforming, I think, at first.
True. But I mean, 200 plus hits, though. That's oof.
I know.
For a
112.
guy who actually did. Yeah.
But Travis has a lot of good draft picks, so like if you really want a player like that, he can find a player like that, right? So I think what his thing is, he's going to focus on goals. Goals are hard to come by in this league, right? He does regret, though. I was talking about it today and the other day. He regrets trading those Florida boys.
No kidding this season.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Absolute gold, man. Absolute gold.
Yeah.
He was saying that he feels if Mark wins there, then it's like he won because it was his team.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's in disagreement about Travis's team. He doesn't really have a whole lot. He has
Yeah.
goaltending, though. He has goalies. Good for him. Pacioretty and Rumble. I think this is an interesting team to look at. He's got a lot of talent on this roster. I don't know who he keeps. I imagine Rantanen and Landeskog keeps.
Yeah.
I'm
I
guessing.
imagine-
I'm guessing at least Husso in St. Louis from St. Louis.
I think he should keep Husso, and I don't see him throwing back Mers. Because he's been hot on this guy forever. He wouldn't even. I tried to trade for him in the offseason last year, like saying, "Hey, once the draft's done, I'll give you a 6 and whatever." And no, he would not even entertain the idea of moving Elvis. So, I think Elvis is the guy with the brighter future out of all those other goalies.
Husso, man, killer year though.
But look at some of the guys he's got to throw back in. Like if he doesn't pick
Vander
Nick Jones-
Kane.
Jason Robertson too.
Yeah, just look at him. But you have to keep Connor, right?
You would think you have to keep Connor. Like,
Yeah.
Connor puts up like what 40 goals this year.
44 goals, 44 assists,
Yeah.
303 shots.
Yeah.
Then Pacioretty too. Like you.
He's throwing some really good players back into the pool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He has Rantanen and Landeskog. Like
Which he'll keep. He's
we haven't even
he's
talked
a big
about
Avalanche fan.
so those two goalies and Connor, and then you have Pavelski, Wheeler, Kane.
Yeah.
You'll probably see
Robinson,
some of his players.
Pacioretty.
You'll probably see some of his players go in the first round.
Yeah,
One of the guys who, if he doesn't keep him, will probably go early is Capo Kakinen because, like long term, like St. Louis isn't gonna. San Jose isn't gonna keep Reimer. Capo
No.
Kakinen's a young goaltender. He's a future starter for them.
They hope.
They hope.
No, I agree. I think that's kind of what you'll see is 2 goalies and 3 forwards and a whole bunch of awesomeness going back into the
Yeah.
draft pool.
His goalie situation is a bit tricky, though. I'll say that. Like,
It's all really young.
Yeah.
yeah, and you don't know like what their play time is going to be next year and where they're going to end up. And
Yeah. it's true.
Nedeljkovic could be also an interesting one because like as Detroit gets better, his numbers might get better.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Please don't feed the goalie. We're not going to waste too much time talking about this roster because it's pretty bare. I feel like Ekblad's a given. You got to keep Ekblad. I feel obviously you have to keep Cooch. But the rest is pretty bare. You keep
Jack
Allmark
Hughes.
for a 50-50 split.
Vanacek.
Vanacek for a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Maybe
think I
Mangiapane.
heard Kyle say Hughes. I think you keep Hughes.
Seguin.
Maybe
Yeah.
Mangiapane.
I don't know if Mangiapane can keep up that pace. Like,
Yeah, he's not only 20 assists as well.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those players who's kind of overperforming this year.
but Jack Hughes
But
has a
he's
lot
young.
of upside, so I think you keep Hughes over Mangiapane.
26 goals, 30 assists for him, but he's also hurt a lot too.
Yeah, his whole team was hurt a lot. So
Yeah.
All right, we're done talking about that guy's team. He won't even know this. Let's talk about Seven on the ice. Does anyone here think he's not keeping the Florida boys?
No.
I hope he doesn't.
I
so I can
tried
grab
hard
one of
to
them.
get him to move Barkov, and he wouldn't bite at all.
I think he also keeps Yari, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
Yossi,
Yossi.
yeah.
I don't know who his
Maybe-
fifth is, though. Does he keep another goalie? Does he
Yeah,
bank
he
on
wants to- I
LA
think he
goalies
wants
to have a good year?
I think he wants to keep another goalie,
Like,
but
who's
it's
he
tough.
keep?
I know. I don't know how much. I think Quick has one more year left too. I think.
He's just.
If I'm him, I
oh,
keep Pedersen though, because Pedersen played the majority of the season, didn't he?
No,
Quick has
Quick-
21 wins. Pedersen has 20. Quick has way more saves.
50-50 probably then.
Yeah, Pedersen only has an 895 on the season.
Oh,
Yeah, Quick at 909.
Anyone think you should keep Veg Melka?
It's a rough team, but you're getting starts consistently.
You get a lot of saves. He let in 5 goals the other night, and he still had 41 saves. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
If
I think
I were him-
Vejmelka is the kind of guy you pick up deep. Like if you have
You
like
throw him
draft him
back
later
and-
on. Yeah.
If I were him, I would just keep Yari and go with 4 players.
Yeah,
'Cause I
who's
don't
that
think these-
fourth player? Forsberg?
It could be Forsberg for sure. Forsberg is always like, because I'm usually holding him at the end of the season, and it's always one of those: do I keep him? Do I not keep him? He's always like on that edge, and he's a
He's
good
having
player.
a great year.
He's had a really great year. Yeah, he put up a lot of game-winning goals, and yeah, he's 27. He's probably hitting the peak of his career. Could be worth.
He's about to hit UFA. So
Yeah,
He's gonna get fucking paid.
he's gonna go somewhere. Maybe Nashville. They're talking about trying to resign him, but I could see him walking and going to another team and stepping in, and hey, now I'm even more of a weapon.
yeah. I
Hey,
guess that's one of those things. You have to wait and see where he goes to. You know, if he's going to a good team, then maybe you keep him. But if he goes to, I don't know, like Arizona,
So Mark has 2 first-round picks. I think I go with your strategy and throw LA back in. Worst case, you can draft one of the LA goalies with one of your first-round picks.
yeah, I'd say like if I were him, go for Swayman, or there might be another good goaltender.
I don't think Swayman will be there by end of the first round.
Well, what's his second? He has 2 first rounders. What's his
The
other?
other
first round?
one's
Knicks.
Knicks.
Yeah.
Knicks. Oh, okay.
So they're both non-lottery.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like what everybody else is keeping, right? Because not everybody's going to be looking for a goalie.
I think
Like
a
a lot
lot
of people-
will.
Like because Travis won't be drafting a goalie,
No,
right? That's 2 of them.
well, you would think at least.
Yeah. Never know.
Maybe that's the strategy. Like,
All the goalies.
I want them all. I'm gonna kill you in saves. Clef bombed. I guess let's go to you here. Let's get
Oh,
some
I know
insight.
him. Starting with the back end, Markstrom's my lock. I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised by that one. I'm gonna go with Marner, Eichel, Stone as my other 3 keepers. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to keep Barbashev, although other ones that I kind of considered was Johansson or Heischer, just because my team's pretty shite.
Kind of is.
But like I'm pretty content going into the next season with that though, because what Barbashev puts up in points, he also puts up in hits,
It's fair.
and he plays on St. Louis, which is a pretty decent team.
Anyone have any comments on his keepers?
Oh, I know your team's pretty bare. So
I didn't think it was going to bring up much debate.
The only thing I might do is not keep Barbashev. I might consider keeping Vladar and keep the duo.
I thought about it, but again, like Vladar might be a guy who I can pick up, in the second or third round.
You probably can. But same can be said about Barbashev.
ooh,
True.
That's the beauty of the flexibility of a shitty lineup, right? Like anyone can be picked up in the later rounds.
True. But a guy who puts up, 56 points and puts up 150 plus hits doesn't really come up all that often.
Well,
That tends to go early and on a.
I was saying that to Travis today. It's like a lot of these young players that had really great years are going to make next year's draft interesting. Because there's a lot of players that we would not have drafted early last year at this time, right? But they're going to go earlier this year. There's going to be some familiar names kind of drifting back into the later rounds. I think there's a good crop of players who stepped up this year, and the league's just gotten better, like the actual NHL league, more competitive across the board. There's going to be a lot more players that I think our draft's going to be deeper, I guess is what I'm saying. So, saucy or pass? Why don't you tell us here about your keepers?
mine's pretty quick and easy too. I got Tavares, Nylander, and Fox as my players, and then depending where things look in September, 2 of Hart, Varlamov, and Blackwood. So there's some movement to be done, and then I'll see what options look like and just drop one of them.
Yeah.
Most likely keeping Hart, and hopefully Varlamov gets moved, but we'll see.
I think it's an off-season move for Varlamov. I don't think they want to move him mid-season.
Yeah.
There's a couple of teams who are going to be looking for goalies. Like there's still Edmonton, whose goaltending situation is still terrible, and you've got.
The only thing is he said no to Edmonton.
Yeah, he did.
Well, they looked at him and he said no.
Oh, does he have a no trade clause?
I think it's modified.
He has a
Okay.
list of teams, I believe.
Somebody was saying that like, just wait and watch Holland take advantage of Lou Lamoriello, and I'm like, Lou Lamoriello.
No one
like,
takes advantage of Lou.
Brian Boyle said no to Lou Lamoriello when he was the GM of Toronto, and then Lou Lamoriello gave him leukemia. Like no, like you don't fuck with Lou Lamoriello. Like I look under my bed for Lou Lamoriello. Like
He's never been the same since.
no.
I don't have any arguments with your players. Your forwards again. Who are they? Nylander or Tavares?
And Fox.
Fox?
Yeah. He's having a good year.
I'm surprised you're not looking at Toffoli.
No, it's all right.
Suck my OJ. He has an interesting roster as well.
Yeah.
We are running out of time. We have less than 10 minutes, so
Got
have
one
three
person to
teams
pick
left.
there.
we have 3 teams left, so that's not bad.
Well,
So-
Shesterkin and Sorokin are gapped.
Yeah.
Yes, clearly.
We got
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, Ho, Kadri, Teravainen, Panarin. What's the other one? The Boston player, Pasternak.
Pasternak,
Yeah.
Johnny Hockey. Yeah, keep Johnny Hockey.
I'm not sure.
To me, I say Johnny Hockey, Panarin, Pasternak, and the two New York goalies.
But you don't know where Gaudreau's going to go. Gaudreau's a free agent, and he said that he wants to go back. He wants to go to the U.S.
Okay, so he goes where? New York, maybe?
That's the thing you don't know. Like that's the thing is like you don't know where he's going to go, and same thing with Kadri. Like
100
imagine
point
if
season though, like you can't throw Gaudreau back in. Like
true, yeah, I guess you're right.
100 point season. I don't care where he's going. He's going somewhere good. But he has options. He has a lot of options. I don't know if Kadri repeats his season this year, especially if
Yeah.
he goes somewhere else and gets paid. Who's he playing with? He's doing it this year because he's playing in Colorado, right? Like,
Yeah, I think you throw Kadri back in, assuming this is kind of like a bit of a fluke season.
yeah. And Aho's worth keeping as well, but I think Gaudreau has the advantage.
Yeah, for sure.
Dan's messaging me trying to join the chat.
Well, it's
He's like
too late now.
invalid video. I just switched.
Toronto Maple Leafs here. Sean has an interesting team. I say he probably keeps Fleury and Hellebuck. I have it on good authorities keeping Kreider, Ovi, and who's the other one? Hedman? Is it Hedman?
Yeah, probably.
Probably Hedman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be Hedman.
He's throwing Zibanejad back in is last I
What?
heard. Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that.
I would probably throw Hedman back in personally and keep the Ranger duo with Ovi and the two goalies. Or I would throw Fleury back in and go with the one goalie. Fleury's at the end of his career.
He's playing one more year. I agree with that.
Yeah, I throw Fleury back in.
The
Yeah.
only thing is he doesn't have any early picks really. Like
He
he
moved
went
them
all
all.
in this year.
You move them all to lose first round.
Oh, now I get the name. No.
Last team to review here, we got the whole shaft. Interesting choices here as well. He paid a good price for Gibson. I imagine he's keeping Gibson and Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Oh, what a combo.
I think Draisaitl is a lock. Who else does he have here?
Kane.
Braden Point.
Kane, Point, and there was someone else.
Even Lindholm.
Kyrou?
Caulfield.
No.
I'd keep Kyrou.
Meyer.
Yeah, Meyer, I think it was.
Meyer. Okay, yeah, Meyer
Oh,
puts up a lot of things.
306 shots, 154 hits, 33 goals, 40 assists. Yeah,
It's
What
tough
a
to throw
jacked
that back in.
roster.
that'd be tough, right?
But like, look at guys like Elias Lindholm. Like that guy's
Yeah,
going
oh,
back
yeah.
in after
Yeah.
the season he had. Like, my God.
The second I trade him, he just went on an absolute tear and like hasn't stopped yet. Like
Some interesting choices here, right? But I have a feeling he's for sure the two goalies, Draisaitl are safe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the odd man out is out of the others. I don't try to pretend to get into his mind here either. So I imagine he keeps Point because Tampa Bay is just a juggernaut. But I don't know. Maybe
I think we can all
Kane
agree
back
if he
in.
throws Draisaitl back in, it's the consensus first overall pick.
Yeah.
you can trade.
Yeah. I think he keeps Draisaitl, Meyer, Kane, and the two goalies.
You think Kane over Point?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Point only put up 27 goals, 28 assists. Like, is he's another guy who's in and out the lineup more, right? Kane's pretty, you're getting every year.
He's consistent, yeah.
He's no Stitzel though.
There's a lot of good stuff going back into the draft.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the first two rounds will be really good. What's that?
What are you throwing back in the draft?
Oh, everything that's not McDavid, Matthews, the Chuck, Kemper, Anderson. So you see some Tarasenko back in there, some Braden Shen, Robert Thomas, Seth Jones,
I can't
Chris
believe
Letang. He
Truba.
was just sitting there. He was free.
Thing is,
Yeah.
there's gonna be like, even if you draft like, let's say in the second or third round, there's still gonna be some quality players left.
Yeah.
You wait
So
till
the
the
first-
13th round. There's gonna be some gold there. Just needs to be found.
Well, every year there's always that nugget that gets found. You know, I think we've all had them before. You know,
You-
like look at who drafted. Like I drafted Kairu this. Well, I didn't draft Kairu, but like I had him on and off, and then finally hung on to him, and I was able to upgrade him for a draft pick. And look at the season he's had. You know, last year I had Toffoli, and Toffoli ended up putting up close to 30 goals. Well, last full season we had. Sorry, I tend to forget the last season we had, the actual last season.
Well, we have 3 minutes left in this. Does anyone have any parting words for the season here?
I hope Braden's wife enjoys the trophy.
It's a
I
nice
hope
trophy.
Iffy enjoys his trophy. Or I hope Mark enjoys his trophy.
Oh, that's hurtful. It's not even over.
Oh, low blow.
That's it.
Oh,
I
so
get it,
when would be?
though.
So when would
Shane,
when
you
the
can
draft
just
be?
cry into your $200, okay?
A lot of people want me to lose, and I can understand that, but I don't know.
And think, guys, only a year away until Travis starts his next rebuild.
We're only like 8 months away. Come on.
Oh, Mark,
Yeah, sorry.
Mark did get a game-winning goal here. Where did that come from?
Oh,
Where did that
Did
come
they
from?
ch-
Oh,
did they
it was
change?
Hurdle. It was
Hurdle.
Hurdle.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, Chicago scored a goal. It's hurtful. It's already 2-0 for St. Louis.
Yeah, Falk and Barbashev. So my St. Louis Blue got a goal.
Oh, and mine got nothing. That's okay. There's still an average of 4 more goals to come through in this game. Well, boys, it was a good season. I hope to be standing before you as champion next time, but if not, oh well, I made it to the finals again. I'll take that money. But
Yeah.
I'm not hurt because I'm going to be at the finals quite a bit in the coming years. I think so.
My goal is make the playoffs next year.
I remember
Just-
those days.
I'm taking for Bedard.
Thank you, Bedard. I'm going all in next season.
No, I mean I might sell next year too. I ain't gonna use a Bedard on my team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plus you.
You know, throws the chuck back in, and who's this guy? Like,
You would.
yeah, I would. It was a great year though, guys. Thanks for joining me. It was fun just to chat some hockey with you. We'll be in touch, I imagine, throughout the year. So good luck
Sounds good.
in the draft, boys, because I'm gonna show up late to the draft. I just don't need to be there, I guess. So neither does Kyle. Kyle auto drafts all the time. So
Yeah, that's it. I show up drunk and yeah.
did I even
After
draft the
draft.
team? Like,
Draft
Cheers,
is
guys.
tonight. What?
all right, boys. You have a good
Okay.
night.
Have a good night, guys.
Cheers. How do I leave? There we go.